It's a different opening.
Yes. This program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It's Testimonial Monday, and our topic for today is finding purpose in the storm. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive at 5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, I spoke with breast cancer survivor Ashley Kay, and she talked about whether I go or stay, I'm healed. Head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio. Stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is, every storm runs out of rain, just like every dark night turns into day. And that quote is by Gary Allen Running. Here is your trending topic for today. Chicago police issued a warning in Humboldt Park after robberies attack on ride-share drivers. Police said suspects used Uber to request a ride and robbed the drivers at gunpoint when they arrived. 2 of the 3 robberies battered the victim with the butt of the handgun and demanded access to their cell phones. Robberies occurred on the 500 block of North Monticello on January the 3rd and the 3600 block of West Franklin Boulevard on January the 14th. The suspects were described as 2 to 4 Black males between the ages of 16 and 18, wearing dark clothing and black ski masks, according to police. The day after Christmas, a woman who came to the U.S. from Venezuela was driving for Lyft, and she was killed in the Austin area. 4 people were seen leaving her SUV, and the police said that the incident appeared to be a robbery. In November, 2 brothers were driving, delivering food for Uber Eats. They were shot, 1 fatally in Humboldt Park. If anyone has any information about any of these robberies, the police department is urging you to contact Chicago Police Department with any information about it. And if you are out driving Uber or Lyft or Uber Eats, just please be careful because these robberies are on the rise. On a positive note, today we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was born January the 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, a Baptist minister and a social activist who led the civil rights movement in the United States from the 1950s to his death by assassination in 1968. His leadership was fundamental to the movement's access in ending the legal segregation of the African Americans in the South and other parts of the United States. King rose to national prominence as he had the South Christian Leadership Conference, which promoted nonviolence tactics such as the massive March on Washington in 1963 to achieve civil rights. And he also was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. And today we celebrate him. Those are your trending topics for today. If you are tuned in on any form of social media, like the show, share the show, invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. My special guest today has provided excellent care service in the medical field for 42 years. She has been with her husband since 1978. She's a mother of 4 girls, 5 grandchildren, and 1 great-granddaughter. She loves educating others about the seriousness of cancer in the community. And she can't stress enough about how important it is for women and men to take their mammograms more seriously and to never miss an annual exam. Welcome to Warriors Talk, Patricia Dangerfield. Hello, Patricia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on and share your wisdom and your story. I know that you're going to drop some gems today, and individuals are going to walk away empowered and blessed.
Yes, yes, I planned on that.
Yes. Again, our topic for today is finding purpose in your storm. And I know a lot of us can identify with finding the purpose in the storm. So, Patricia, I wanted to start where what was your introduction to cancer?
Breast cancer. Uh, it was introduced into my life, a trail of from behind my parents and my mother and my grandmother. So that's how it occurred to me, uh, coming before me and fighting this war, and I won it. Yes, and that um, my journey is to balancing out my life and finding out my calling since my battle of the breast cancer, successfully receiving after the treatment of getting chemo and radiation. Through it all, my battle, and I had a lot of support behind me of called diamond, uh, the diamonds, and they helped me through it and encouraged me and gave me the things to expect during the chemo and all. And it was such a surprise of me finding out that I had breast cancer. I missed 1 year after I was laid off from my job. I didn't have no insurance and I did not go and get tested. And when I got back employed, I went back and had my mammogram done. And from that, in 2011, I found out in February of 2011. And through it all the things that I have been through and through my surgery was a battle, but I won. Through the chemo, I went through chemo and came out. A year later, they let me know that I had um, the chemo had damaged my heart. But through this, I would like to encourage every man or woman. As when I went to have my mammogram done, I did not find it in feeling. I was standing in the mirror and I seen it. I could not feel it. So everyone, please, that mirror play a big part of your life. Not just feel, but you have to start taking time for you when you bathe in or whenever. Please take the time out and to look at your body. Because like I said, mine was not found me feeling it. The day of my mammogram, I was standing in front of the mirror and seeing an indentation under my breast. So the feel does not mean all the time you can feel it. You have to take the time and look. Women that have families, take time for yourself. Men, take time for yourself and looking at your body. The most important thing that I got of it is taking time and looking at my body.
I
And
think Patricia, I think Patricia, you this is a great point because we hear all the time that a lump indicates that you have breast cancer. So a lot of people may say, "Well, I didn't see a lump, so I may not have breast cancer." We know still women do not want to touch their breast, but in your case, you saw it just by looking in the mirror, and that's
yes,
why it's important for you to not only know the feel of your breast, but know the look of your breast. So then when something is not normal, you can go and do something about it. You can take action.
correct. Because we just the women we just throw a bra on and not take time and look. Because when we get older and our breasts don't be as firm as it be, you have to lift up and look. Because that's how I found mine. Standing in the mirror, taking the bra off, and it was an indentation in the middle of my breast, under it. And that's how I found mine. as I was there to get a mammogram complete.
And I think it's also important for women to take the time out to know exactly how to do a breast exam, because sometimes they may just scape over the breast, just the top of the breast, not knowing
Correct.
that it goes all the way up to the collarbone and under your arm too, because the lymph nodes
Yes.
is a tell all too. So you have to learn how to give yourself a breast exam. If you don't get it from your doctor, then you can look it up on the internet. There's so many different support groups out here. Cancer organizations that will be able to help and show you how to do a proper breast exam so that you know when something does not look or feel right. Don't deny it. Just go and get it verified.
Yes, because with it be, I had the lymph nodes also, and sometimes we just think it's just fat tissue, and it wasn't. I had over 27 lymph nodes and under my arm. So yes, sometimes don't take for granted that you think. Don't think. Go see about it. Take the time and take care of yourself. Yes.
Another point you brought out, Patricia, was for men and women to take care of yourself, because we know as women, we put everybody first and
Yes.
then we put ourselves last. We know for men, they hate going to the doctor, and I really don't blame them, but the only way that you're going to know where you are and what you need to do and if they can catch things early is if you go and see what's going on.
Yes. And I was in stage 2 at the time. Stage 2. So, it's important. It's we don't like to go to the doctor, but some things we can't find and they find. And I'm a believer of, I take keep of what the doctors say. I'm not the one to say, well, they just want some money. And don't look at that. Because if it can save your life, money don't mean nothing for you, if you're not here. So take it, even if you have to go get a second opinion, please go. Please go. Yes, because I encourage everyone, my daughters and all, because science is a reason, even with and that's part of any of your body. My daughter was 35, and she found out she had colon cancer, thinking she just had a stomach problem. And when they found the doctors, and you have to be avid for yourself. They kept saying, didn't want to believe that was what was going on with her. And she had to be an advocate herself and just kept going. You need to find out something. Even though, and you could tell them that it's in your family and it ran in my family. But you have to be the advocate for yourself and tell them what you want, not what they want. And that's in anything, and especially your breast. If you don't feel comfortable in it, you push them, because this is about you and not them. So my encouragement is definitely that, to do it.
Especially being 35, because the age for
Yes.
the colonoscopy, it's at 45 now. So of
Correct.
course they're going to be like, no, you're not at that age to where you are at risk for. So they're going to push you back. They're going to try to prolong it. But again, you know your body. So it's important for you to push. And if you don't feel like you're being heard at that particular place, like Patricia said, get a second opinion.
Yes.
You only have one body, one temple. And we all know colon cancer has the potential to kill. Just any
Yes.
cancer has the
Yes.
potential. So it's important for you to get on it, stay on it, and get to a doctor or a medical team who is going to listen to your concerns and address them.
Yes. In 2012, I found out through taking the chemo that the chemo damaged my heart. It damaged it that I really didn't feel it until over 10 years. I kept working and everything. My doctors was telling me I was in denial of my heart failure. But I just kept going until the 2 years, and then it started falling on my heart stopped failing. And I found, and the reason why I really found out while I was working at the hospital, I couldn't walk through the hospital because the air of the hospital would cut my breath. Yes. And with that, I would go get echoes every year from 2012, every year. And then it got up to, they were seeing it, I was getting echoes every 6 months. And when after the echo, I went in that February of 2022, and I couldn't go home. And it broke me because, like they said, my doctors told me, you in denial, that your heart is failing. And when I went in there, they told me I couldn't go home. And that's why I really express of get your mammograms done. And if you're not having no insurance, you go to somewhere or call the Breast Cancer Society, and they would find somewhere you can go and have it done free. Because that was my issue, is I didn't have any insurance. Of course, you can't get Medicaid unless you have children. My kids was grown, so I didn't have no advocate of it. And I waited an extra year when I got back employed. But please don't wait. Find a way that it's so much help out here that you don't have to have insurance all the time. And the Breast Cancer Society will give you where to go and have it done. So I really encourage you that. And then with that, me having the chemo, which we all know chemo can damage different parts of our life. It saves one thing, and 9 out of 10, it's just not gonna just cure. Some I got the one that the chemo that I had taken, it damaged my heart, but it kept me here. And with that, and when you do have that, don't be in denial like I was. Don't be in denial. I just kept working. I kept pushing because I didn't feel it. But my body had got used to it, and I got used to it and settled in it.
I
And
think a lot of people, Patricia, don't realize the residue or the collateral damage that cancer leaves behind.
yeah,
When they see us finish with chemo and they're like, oh, you're okay. You're starting to look like your normal self.
yes,
They feel like, on the outside, but the inside, like you said, that chemo damages your body. And sometimes you may not feel the residuals of it until
yes,
years later. If
yes,
you notice, before we get chemo, what do? They take us and they examine our
yes,
heart, right, to make
yes,
sure that it's strong enough
yes,
to get that chemo. And if it's not, they're like, well, we're gonna have to give you a different chemo because your heart is not strong enough.
correct.
So battling your cancer journey, and then you actually received the heart.
Yes,
You went through the heart transplant, and that in itself is truly inspiring. So can
yes.
you share with listeners how this experience has shaped your perspective on life, and to give some advice to someone who may be facing a similar situation or challenge?
My thing is, don't give up. You have a God that's so big that he don't have a measurement in it. He says to call on him. So don't just linger. Call on God for your strength, for your healing, for your everything, because it was a battle. And to me, the breast cancer was smooth to me going through the chemo and all that. And then when I had a mastectomy, and I had prosthetics put in me, and that didn't last. I had that put in, and I would go, and you have to make sure, even when you get that when I was going to the doctor, I was getting filled. You had to get them filled. I was going, and about 4 months, I was filling in. I went on vacation. I came back. I was flat. Yes, I was flat. And I went back to the doctor and I asked him why. And be alert because when I went there, they told me that the therapy had flattened me. And I brought it to the therapy and they said no. And what really made it so weird to me is when I was telling them, I was telling the nurse, because the nurse the one that would feel me. And she left out and came back with the doctor. The doctors had came with some up stuff saying that, oh, it was therapy. But all in all, I knew something was wrong, because when they do it, they supposed to use, it's like a magnet to find it where the implant is, to know where to put the needle at. Well, this nurse wasn't using it all the time, and I wasn't aware that she was supposed to use it. And that's how I got back flat. And then, so she punched holes in it, and that's how it leaked. The solution leaked out. And what really deterred me is they come in there lying to me. The doctors will lie. So I seeked another opinion. And when I went to get the second opinion, they told me that could not happen. She was not using the magnet. So I had another one put in. It became infected. Yes. And I'm telling you, everybody said, well, you should have sued them. A sue is not that easy to do. If it's not life-threatening, and the solution is not life-threatening to me, that's just solution coming back out. And so I had that done. And so that didn't go well. That set up an infection. So the doctor said, well, I said, I'm through. I'm through. I would just wear something inside the bra to fill it. Because I was like, I done been through enough of that, and I'm okay. My age, I'm all right. And I did that. And the amazing thing of through all that, and I went in the hospital and had to have a heart. And I was implanted with a fibrillator. And I had a fibrillator for over 5 years to keep the heart pumping. And it just wouldn't do no more. And when I went in to have that echo done, and the doctors told me I couldn't go home, I was like, what you mean? And they's like, you've been living in denial of your heart. So when I went in the hospital, I went in there in February. The fibrillator kept busting out. So I had 2 other fibrillators put in there to keep it in there until I can get a heart. And I had one family come through that they was gonna donate me. They family a heart donated to me. Well, that came through. Then the doctors came and prepped me, and the family changed their mind. So, and I thank God for my doctors and advocate, because Christ advocate, because I had some praying doctors. And when they came, but see, I'm a praying person, and I believe in God with all my might and all my heart. And I could see it in their face. They were so disappointed. And I'm like, I told them, I said, it's going to be okay. God got this. It's going to be a better one coming. And within 2 weeks, another one came. And to tell you, this is so much of God. I was in the hospital. I was on the list. I was in the hospital from February. The heart came through in April with a younger heart. And I went through the transplant. It was rough being in the hospital because I'm a busy person. I'm always busy doing something. So, my family will tell me, Mama, you was something else. They told me, they say, Boy, you was something else. And I can say, and I have never been mean. They said, Mama, you was going through. And the doctors told me they understood what I was going through because I was complaining, and I'm not a complainer. And when that came in, my balloon had busted. They was putting balloons in it. And the balloon was busting. That was the 3rd time it had bust. And they came in there, they said, okay. And I looked at them, they said, okay, now what you want to do? And I'm looking at them like, I want to live. And they said, okay, well, we got 2 choices for you. They said, we can put the balloon back in, or we can give you this young heart. And that just took my breath. for them to say that to me, and I got the heart put in, and Lord beloved, that's when I found out that how weak my heart was. You know, and they put that young heart in me. And did I have to call on God? That heart was so strong. Oh, I thought I was going to have a heart attack because it was so young and so strong. And that was grace and mercy put on me. And
Would you say, Patricia, that your faith went to another level after this happened?
total another level, because with me going through breast cancer, I healed so fast that people be like, Pat, you don't even look like nothing. I was like, you know what? It's nothing but grace. Nothing but grace. And when you depend on him as a mustard seed, for me to go through breast cancer, and I bounced back. I bounced back and healed so fast. And everybody's like, Pat, even my doctor's like, take it easy though. You know, we see the amazing healing in you, but we want you to take your time in your healing. And that was amazing to me. But what really sent me all the way across was receiving that heart. And it still amazes me. Yes.
Wow. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the advancements that may have come along since Pat has started her treatment.
Yes.
And I just want to take this opportunity right now and highlight our community spotlight,
Yes.
which is Unapologetic Glam Boutique. And this is creator Lisa D. Adams, and this is some of her products that she has created. The earrings that I am wearing, she handcrafted these for me as well. You can find her on Facebook. Just go to Unapologetic Glam Boutique on Facebook and follow her. And make sure you tell her that you heard about it from Warriors Talk. And if you would like to be the community spotlight, just inbox me. Or you can email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com. And the spotlight is different from a sponsorship. And with the sponsorship, you can, it involves a fee and you can pay to be spotlighted every single week. But with the community spotlight, we spotlight you one time and then you can crop it and put it on all your social media platforms and promote yourself that way. So make sure you go to Unapologetic Glam Boutique on Facebook with Lisa D. Adams.
Yeah.
All right. And we are back. We're live on Intellectual Radio talking with breast cancer survivor and heart transplant survivor Patricia Dangerfield. So I wanted to talk about, since you have went through your breast cancer diagnosis as well as the heart transplant, and you having this wealth of knowledge in the medical field over 42 years, have you seen any, do you have any insight into any advancements or changes that you have witnessed in cancer care or since you've had the transplant?
Yes. You know, it gave me a new outlook of life, as that I'm depending on God to give me my next step in my life. I'm praying on him to reveal what he would like me to do, because saving my life through breast cancer and heart transplant, it's awesome. It really is awesome. And I just encourage you, and I am looking so forward of a new life, advancement in doing things his way. And my storm is, I feel like I'm out of the storm because of my healing, even through the heart transplant. God have graced me so that I didn't know I was in watch under him as much as I was. And I am, because, and I, like I said, I encourage you because it have changed my life and the life of looking that is, I have a full life. and I don't have a short life. I have a full life, and I just so much encourage you because and trying to find. I was just doing under me. I wasn't doing under God. And now I feel like I live for him. And I'm searching, for it. My children feel like I should go forward in my cooking because everybody just loves my cooking. And I love cooking, but I tell them, I don't know if that's the direction God want me to go. I can enjoy doing it, but my seeking is really in what he would have me to do. And I love talking to young people about my story to let them know there is a God, and you can survive as long as you depend on him. And I tell them, I tell all my stories to anybody that give me a chance to tell them and have to check for breast cancer. I really do. I tell them, do not take it for granted that you cannot get it, even if it doesn't um in your family, which is in my family tree, but you can be the first that can to have the breast cancer. So don't take it lightly because it doesn't run in your family. It starts somewhere. So my encouragement is to you is to take time for your own self, for your own body, and listen to your body first of all.
Yes. According to statistics, it says that 85% of individuals who have breast cancer do not have a family history. So only like 15 to 10% has a family link to breast cancer. So
Yes,
sometimes it starts with
with
you.
you. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, most definitely. So please take the time, and I encourage you. It's not a death. It don't have to be a death to just follow up on getting your mammograms and be your own uh, uh, advocate for
Yeah.
yourself. Do not let no one tell you, don't believe this, don't do that, believe the doctors. Believe in yourself and believe in your own body and take a revenue over your body. Don't know, let you can, you know what you say that we can feel. If you have a husband or a daughter and you thinking it's not, let them feel it.
A lot of
You
times
know.
the men do find the lump.
Yes, yes. So, be an advocate for yourself and you do what's good for you. And don't look or listen for nobody else's story. You look for your own story because your story can be your life.
Yes. And everybody's story is unique to your own self. So
Yes,
don't compare yourself to anybody else.
anybody else. And I appreciate you allowing me to come on here. I enjoyed myself so much at the Warrior Talk uh, for breast cancer. You know what? Even if you didn't have breast cancer, I would encourage you to come because she is an awesome lady. I encourage you. I enjoyed myself so much. I look forward for the next venue of me coming out and the venues that she had there selling things. That jewelry is awesome. All their things are good. Cookies and the fashion show, it was just awesome. So I wish you would share her because she's a loving, kind person. And she is reaching out for help for everyone. So I encourage you to even just not today to come on her radio and listen to her because she talks about other things that can encourage you also. So breast cancer is not the only thing. I was listening to different women and different things that was on her show, and she's powerful. And I appreciate you to stepping out with your warrior talk, And like I said, I enjoyed it so well. The whole weekend was awesome.
Thank you so much. It's all about celebrating the survivors. And I just want the way that you felt is the way that I intended for warriors to feel. So I appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
thank
My
you.
my warriors talk came as a result of of my cancer journey. It was birthed
Yes.
out of my cancer journey. So for that, I'm grateful. So thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you be blessed.
Thank you.
Yes.
Lisa said, yes, she's awesome and full of wisdom.
Yes.
So give God that glory.
Yes.
Kellogg said, definitely laugh out loud. And then Brenda said, praise God. Is it Latonia Everett? She says, amen. Love you, sis.
Yes. Thank you. Love you.
Tamara said, woman of God.
Yes.
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 I like spreading the news.
Yes. And that's what, you know what, that's what it's all about, Patricia.
Yes.
I saw someone put a question on Facebook was saying that they felt like all of a sudden it was so many people getting cancer. And I'm thinking like, that's not the case. It's because now we're pushing the awareness,
Yes.
we're pushing it. And now you're hearing about it and everybody knows somebody. If you don't, you're going to know somebody who has had cancer. And people are starting to talk about their cancer journeys. So you know about it.
Yes. And be there for them. The most thing is having somebody by your side. You know, I had so many family members and so many friends that touched my heart, me going through it, that made it easy for me. It was easy because I had my children, my husband, my family, and my friends. And that made such of a big difference of the support. So always be a support to someone through their battle because it plays a big part of it. Yes.
Yes, you never know what that supports do, and supports looks different for everybody.
Yes.
So just depends on what type of support you want to be. And I always say, don't put it back on the person because sometimes they'll tell the person, well, what do you need? What do you want me to do? Don't do that.
Yes.
Find something that you can do for that person and do that.
Yes.
Because they have enough to worry about with treatment and healing. They don't need to try to figure out, okay, what can I get them to do? 9 times out of 10, they're going to forget you even asked them that question.
True that.
So talk to their husband, talk to their children and see what it is that you can do and then take action with that.
Yes, and I'm open up to anyone to call me because my sisters are the diamonds. They were so awesome. First of all, they came to me soon as they found out I had it. They in the preparation that I had they gave me before I had it helped me so much. They gave me things telling me what to eat, what to do. And you know, some people like I love that because they've been through it. So they was able to help me just somebody just saying something. And you know, it helped me. And through my chemo of eating certain things, they told me lemon heads and different things like that. It helped me. It really helped me. And know that you can go through it with God.
Yes.
Yes.
Was there a defining moment for you, Patricia, in your cancer journey?
You know, I guess through my ancestors that went through it, it helped me to look back and see they survived. And knowing that I can survive and I can do more than I'm doing, that I'm open to do, to spread the good news that you can be a survivor, you know. And that's my thing is talking. My children tell me, Mommy, I talk. So if you want to talk to me, I'm going to talk to you about it. My kids will tell you, oh, here she go. I said, that's right. If I can save a soul, then my heart will bless them in telling them the story of it because they can. And that's with young, old, and all. Because breast cancer don't have an age on it. Cancer don't have an age on it. So be aware. Always be aware and have a heart for someone. Because that's the most important thing. Because you couldn't have told me that I was coming down with no breast cancer. But you know what? I thank God for my heart. And that he gave me a heart to have a heart. And he humbled me. He humbled me more than I ever have been. And I have a heart for everyone. I'm not, I don't dislike no one. I have a love for you, and that's all I can give you. Is a love and a grace and a hand. To all you have to do is reach out, and I'm there for you.
Elaine says, love you. She says, look at God. He's awesome.
Yes, he
He
is.
is awesome. He truly is.
He
Cancer,
is.
cancer is one of those diseases that it will humble you. It'll have you,
Yes.
it makes you really take a look at life and what you have and the things
Yes.
that are really not important, and it allows you to focus on what's important. And like you said, although you have these plans, it's what God wants. It's
Yes.
whatever He wants, wherever He's directing you to, that's where you want to go, and that's what you want to be doing.
Yes.
Is making sure that you're giving that glory and honor to Him. You're giving it back
Yes.
to Him for what He's done for you.
Yes. And that cancer can mean so many things to slow you down in life
Yes.
and take your life do not take your life for granted at all. Appreciate your life. Appreciate God gave you a birthday, and to know that you are His child and He is your father. Your father are all that will always be there with you. And just know that cancer is not the end of life. It's a new beginning of life.
And you just answered my next question. I was going to ask, when you hear the words or the phrase life after cancer, like what comes to mind? Is there such thing as life after cancer?
Yes, it is. It's a life because it's a big world out there. You know, cancer is little to the big world. And that's what it is. It's just a thing that open your life and open your heart and open your mind that you are a survivor. Yes.
Now, I know you kind of skipped over you doing the catering.
Yes.
But I don't want to skip over that because I think that
Okay.
was really important how a lot of people are looking for purpose. A lot of people are looking for why they're here.
Yes.
And some people, God give more talents to some people. Some people may have one, some people may have more than one. So I want to talk about how did you find out that you was a chef and that you're able to make some income with that?
Yeah. You know what? Being at home and couldn't go nowhere and just being still, I was finding myself just cooking and cooking and cooking, and my kids just loved it because they would. It's only me and my husband in the house, and I would cook like I I cooked like I had 10 kids, and I would people like, Pat, what you doing? I'm cooking. They like cooking, and I'm like, you want to come get a plate? And that's how I am. And I'm the president of my church of Women Fellowship at Progressive Community Church on 56 East 48th Street. And I love feeding the church. You know, so that's how I became it. And I would start cook. I would just wasn't even in the business of making money. People was like, Pat, would you make my dressing? And I'll just cook because I like cooking. And I did it. And I do love cooking. And so I'm in the midst of getting together, my daughters and them getting me together to do catering, which I'm going toward that way because my doctors do not want me to go back into the medical because of my heart. And I want to do the soul food cooking and the Italian. And I want to do with me, I had lost. I was a 14 to 16 women size. And after through all that, I went down to a 4. And I didn't have no appetite, couldn't eat, just was cooking. Couldn't eat it, just cooking. And I started, that's what made me busy being cooking. So now I am open up to catering, you know, and I tell everybody, I don't have to cook everything for you. I can cook your size. I can just cook your meat. And another thing, I'm looking into doing prepping cooking. For like now, I have gained weight back. So my thing is, I'm finna start prepping and slow down and eating and lose a little. My doctors told me I couldn't gain no more. I need to lose 10. So I'm going into the soul food cooking for any meals that you want, any size that you want. And then I'm going to start doing prepping for people for 3 days, 4 days, 3 to 7 days, whatever you would like. And then it's going to be your preference of what you want, not what I want to make for you. It's going to be up to you what you would like. So, yes.
That's
So,
awesome. Because
yeah,
with people busy lives, sometimes they don't have time to cook or eat, or even to eat healthy. So
yes,
to take that off their plate and have someone to do it for them,
yes,
it's amazing.
yes.
Is it Willow Williams? She says, my sister is a busy cook. Annette says, you are truly an angel, and she loves you, Annette.
Okay.
Elaine said, our parents, some of the best cooks.
Yes.
It helps. Yeah, it helps when you have someone to do that. That's something you don't have to think about. You can concentrate on other things.
Yes. Yes. And you know, I had a party for myself after the heart, and everybody came out. I had a great Gatsby party, and everybody was so raised over the food, and they was like, "Who made your food?" And I said, "I cooked all my food," and I had over 100 people there. And I cooked everything but the fried chicken. Everything but the fried chicken. We had a meal outside. Everybody had food to take home. And we just had a nice time. And I cooked string beans, macaroni and cheese, rotisserie chicken. I had potato salad. I had everything. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed life. And that's what I'm looking for, is to enjoy the completeness of my life. And that's cooking and traveling.
Oh yes, definitely traveling.
Yes. Yes.
Love it. Cadillac said he loves your spirit.
Thank you.
Patricia says, love you, Pat. You are a beautiful sister.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So there was a quote, Pat,
Mm-hmm.
by William Arthur Ward that really captured how you felt about your journey. And that quote is, the experienced mountain climber is not intimidated by the mountain. He's inspired by it. Yeah. Elaborate on that for me.
As though, you know, I can climb high. You don't have to stay low. You climb that ladder and you get where you want to go. You know, so don't never sit down. It's always a higher climb for you to go. Yes.
Yeah. Brenda said, that's great. She said she was moving back. Rosalind says, have always been a beautiful soul. Thanks for sharing your wisdom, and let her get a plate.
Yes. You know, they be like, Pat, what you cooking? Oh, I'll be cooked before I go to church. And they be like, Pat, you smelling like food. And I'll be like, come back and get a plate.
Yes. Is it Lamani says, love you, Grandma?
Oh.
Is it Malaya? How do you pronounce it?
Malaya.
Malaya.
That's my granddaughter.
Oh, that's the not the great, but one of the 5 grandbabies.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Well, as we wrap up the show, Pat, I want to make sure listeners know how to follow you and stay connected to you. So can you give some information on how they can do that?
You can follow me on Facebook at triciadanger@gmail.com. And if you need a caterer, I'm there for you. Yes, so you can follow me there.
And can you also give listeners some words of wisdom on finding purpose in their storm?
Finding purpose is that, you know, you go through and it makes you stronger than you thought you were. And my wisdom is, know that when you come out it, you are stronger and wiser and more wisdom to share it to someone else's life. So do not puddle it in you. Spread the good news of your surviving, my survivor of being a breast cancer and a heart transplant survivor. So spread the news. My point is, I'm going to talk it until he called me home, to let you know that God is, and that he can deliver you through any storm. The storm is only temporary. The sun is going to shine, and it will shine through you. And I hope that you would take whatever you can take from this and grow from it. Spread the good news of Jesus. Spread the goodness of him. And that you can be a survivor also. If he did it for me, he would do it for you. So believe in that you can be a survivor.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I just want to give a shout out to your sister Tony in Mississippi.
Okay.
And Rebecca Johnson says, my mother-in-law, a true woman of God. And Dawn says, amen.
Good.
Amen.
Thank you all. That is the village. I have a bigger village, may not have been able to come on here.
Oh, I saw them on here.
Yo, okay.
They're still on here.
So my village is big, and I love them all with all my heart. Like I said, I love everyone. And if I can help them, my hands and my feet is moving. And that is me, to be a blessing to someone else.
Well, thank you so much, Patricia, for coming on again, dropping some gems, sharing your wisdom, being vulnerable to share your story in order to help someone else, to bring hope to someone else, to let someone else know that you made it and they can too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And know that go on. Do not let this be your last time listening to her, because Lady ReShell is an awesome lady also. She's a blessing to me. And I'm telling you, she can be a blessing to you. And just listen to her radio station, because you're going to receive something from it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My last comment of the day, it says, you deserve it, Mom. And that's from Tasha.
Okay, that's my daughter. My middle daughter.
Awesome. All right, you guys, please don't go anywhere. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I want to highlight my sponsor, which is Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay, and she's catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe, that is. Head on over to marykay.com/GDOTSON for some exciting products, and let her know that Warriors Talk sent you. If you would like to be a guest on Warriors Talk, email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com and let me know that you would like to be a guest and share your story. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. One small crack does not mean that you're broken. It means that you were put to the test and you didn't fall apart. So join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio at 6 p.m. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.